So now let us move on to the sum of n terms of an AP. Now what do you mean by the sum of n terms? Basically means if you have an AP, for example, which is written as 2, 4, 6, 8, goes till 100. If someone is asking you to find the sum of the first 5 terms of the AP, it's very easy. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, and whatever you are getting, that is the final answer. But suppose you have an AP that is extending up to 2000 terms and somebody is asking you to find the sum of the first 1000 terms. It is impossible for you to sit and add 1000 terms, and even if you have a calculator also, it is going to take a lot of time, which means that we need to have a shortcut, which in mathematics basically mean we need to have a formula for finding out the sum of n terms of an AP, or the sum of huge numbers or huge number of terms in an AP. Now, to arrive at the formula, we need to have a definition, we need to have a derivation. So, that derivation is also mentioned in your textbook. So, I will explain it to you in a very simple manner. So, I don't think the derivation would be asked for any examination. But again, I always tell, whenever you have a formula, whenever you have an equation and there is a derivation that is given in your book, please go through the derivation to understand what is happening over here. Take an AP which is represented in the general form a plus d, a plus 2d up to a plus n minus 1d. As you can see, it is an n term AP. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the sum? Sum means adding up the terms. So, let us represent sum as what is the sum of the first 2 terms? So, I am going to represent it like S2. That will be a plus d. Correct. So, what is the sum of n terms? You have to add all these terms, which is a plus d plus a plus 2d up to a plus n minus 1d. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you, if you like my video, please press the like button and do subscribe. Okay, so the sum of n terms of the AP is given by this. Now you know that addition is commutative. What do you mean by commutative? Whichever way you add, you will finally get the same answer. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2 plus 1 or 2 plus 3 plus 1. Any which way you add, you get the same answer. So, I can also write this as reverse way. A plus n minus 1d plus a plus n minus 2d plus up to a. From here I am writing. You know that before a plus n minus 1d, you should have a plus n minus 2d. Okay. So, you have these two equations. So, here you can see that I have also numbered the terms. A is the first term, a plus d is the second term, a plus 2d is the third term, a plus n minus 1d is the nth term, and so many terms in between which are not visible to us. So, we are not naming them. Here I have got, when I am writing the sum of the terms in an ulta way, I will get this as the first term and a as the last term. Now, I am going to add both these equations, adding up the corresponding terms, which means the first term in the first equation, I will add to the first term in the second equation. Okay. So, let us see what I am getting. Sn plus Sn will give me 2Sn. Now, the first term in the first equation and the first term in the second equation, which is a plus n minus 1d, which will give me 2a plus n minus 1d. Correct. Second term in the first equation, second term in the second equation will give me, there is a plus sign over here, you know that, right? So, a plus d plus a plus n minus 2d. A plus a will give me 2a. N minus 2d plus 1d. Let us see what we are getting. N minus 2 into d plus 1 into d is nd minus 2d plus 1d, which is n minus 1 into d. Nd minus 1d, n minus 1 into d. Okay. Now, the corresponding third term I have not written here. I will jump to the last term. A plus n minus 1d plus a will again give me 2a plus n minus 1d. So, you can see that all the terms in this are equal, which is equal to 2a plus n minus 1 into d. But that is equal to 2 times the sum. Okay. Now, let us find out what is Sn equal to. So, the sum is equal to the whole thing divided by 2. You can see here 2a plus n minus 1d is repeated how many times? It is repeated n times. N times of the first one plus n times of the second one, right? So there should be n terms in this. So you have n into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Correct? That is, as I told you, twice the sum. Now I need to find the sum. So my sum will be the whole thing divided by 2, which is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This is the formula for the sum of n terms of an AP, n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. Now that you have understood the derivation of this particular formula, I am hoping you have understood it. I want you to just memorize what we have just done now. We wrote an n term AP, a plus d, a plus 2d up to a plus n minus 1d, where a plus n minus 1d is the last term or the nth term of the AP. After that, we wrote the sum of the terms, a plus d up to a plus n minus 1d. Then I told you addition is commutative. First standard maths, second standard maths, addition is commutative. Because it is commutative, I can write it ulta also. Then what did I do? I wrote it in an ulta way, a plus n minus 1d in the beginning, ending up to a. Then I decided to add up both these equations to get to Sn. Every single term will reduce to 2a plus n minus 1d. Likewise, I have got n terms of 2a plus n minus 1d. Then I found out the sum of the terms by dividing by 2, and I finally got the formula n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Clear? N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d I have written like this. 2a I have written as a plus a. A plus a plus n minus 1 into d. Now, a is the first term. What is a plus n minus 1d? It is our nth term. So, n by 2 into first term plus nth term. Suppose there are only n terms in the AP. So, my nth term will become the last term. So, n by 2 into first term plus last term. This is also the sum of n terms of an AP. Depending upon the data that is given to you in the question, you can use either of these formulas. Almost always I end up using only this particular formula. This formula somehow skips my mind, but I want you to remember this formula because in certain cases this formula becomes the easier one than the other one. So this is the general one, and this you can use when the first and the last terms of an AP are given to you. Okay, so now let me tell you a couple of kutti things that you need to remember under this particular concept. We know that the sum of the terms is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and you have got the other formula which includes the first term and the last term. Now, suppose you are having an AP which is a plus d, a plus 2d up to a plus n minus 1d, which is my nth term, and let us assume we are having only n terms in the AP. Okay. Now, what is the first term? A. What is the sum of the first term? There is only one term. Sum of first term, the word itself is stupid, but anyway, sum of the first term is A. What is the second term? A plus D. What is the sum of the first two terms, which is S2, is A1 plus A2, which is A plus D. Correct? Now, can I say this? The second term is equal to sum of the first two terms minus the first term. Basic logic, right? So, by using this concept, we can say that nth term is equal to sum of n terms minus the sum of n minus 1 terms. 20th term of an AP is the sum of 20 terms minus the sum of 19 terms. Because when you add the 20th term to the 19th term, we get the sum of 20 terms, right? Correct. Similarly, suppose you are having S100. This is S100 minus S99. The reason being, if you add the 100th term to the sum of the 99 terms, you get the sum of 100 terms. Basic logic. So they have just written it as a formula, which is nth term of an AP is this. Fine. Have a look at this particular AP 1, 2, 3 up to n. We do not know the value of n. It can be 100, 1000 or 10,000, whatever it is. Now, as you can see, this is an AP which has started from 1 and all natural numbers are included. So I can say that this is the list of natural numbers. Correct. If I am trying to find out the sum of this particular AP, this will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n. Right? Let me try to put it in the formula that we studied right now. So we studied two formulas. One is 2a n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and you have n by 2 into first term plus nth term or the last term if there are only n terms. Okay. Now, I will apply the data over here. You have n terms in this AP. The first term is a 1 and the last term is an n. You will get n into n plus 1 by 2. So I can say that the sum of the first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2. Fine. Let me see whether I am getting the same formula by using this one. Okay. So n by 2 into a is 1. N minus 1 into d is also 1, 2 minus 1, right? Let me open the bracket. You can see that you are getting the same formula in the end whether you are using this one or whether you are using this. So the sum of first n natural numbers is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. So you can use this formula to find out the sum of any number of natural numbers. Suppose somebody is asking you to find the sum of the first 10,000 natural numbers. You can use this formula like this in order to find the final answer. Okay. Now let us look at one more Kuti concept which is not mentioned in your textbook, but it is applied in many sums as I have seen. So let us have a look at it. Suppose you have got 3 numbers in AP. I am going to represent those numbers by A, B and C. Let them be of any value. A, B, C are in AP. Okay. Now what is the condition? The common difference between them consecutive terms has to be equal, which means that B minus A has to be equal to C minus B, or 2B is equal to A plus C, or B is equal to A plus C by 2. This number B, which lies between A and C, when ABC are in AP, is called as the arithmetic mean of A and C. Not a difficult concept to understand. Actually, it is just the basic application of the common difference and the concept of arithmetic progression. Now, let us write down let us write down the main formulas of whatever we have done so far, and then proceed on to the sum related to the sums of n terms of an arithmetic progression. Here you can see that I have written down the main concept and also the derived concept from the main concept in pink ink. So the first one is, you learn the concept of arithmetic progression, concept of common difference and the concept of the first term. Derived one is, get to know what is the arithmetic mean of A and B, which is the average of A and B, which is A plus B by 2. Now then we learned about the nth term of an AP as A plus n minus 1D, and we also learned about the nth term of the AP from the end. Either you reverse the AP and change the sign of D, or you use the formula m minus n plus 1th term from the beginning will be the nth term from the end. You also learned about the sum of n terms of an AP. Two formulas you just learned now. From that we found out the sum of the first n natural numbers as n into n plus 1 by 2, and also how to write the nth term of an AP in terms of the sum Sn minus Sn minus 1, which is the sum of n terms minus the sum of n minus 1 terms. I have written down all the main concept. It's a recap, and also the derived concept which I mentioned as Kuti concept. But there is one more additional concept which I could not fit here under anywhere. It is a general thing. I will just tell you. Suppose you might get questions like the sum of 3 terms of an AP is so and so, and find something. Okay, when you mention the sum of 3 terms of an AP is, let us say, 24, students take the terms as A plus D and A plus 2D. Okay, you will get the answer. Finally, after manipulations, you will get the answer. But our task is always to find out the easier way to get the answer. What terms can I cancel out? How can I get the answer in a shorter time using shorter steps? If that is the case, the terms should be taken as A minus D, A and A plus D. Tell me the reason why. If I am adding all these terms, my D will get cancelled. I get a single equation in A which I can solve easily. In this case, I get both A and D in the same equation. Right? So, accordingly, choose the terms as A minus D, A and A plus D. Suppose there are even number of terms. They are asking you the sum of 4 terms of an AP is 24. How do you take it? So when somebody tells you the sum of 3 terms of an AP is 24, this is how you take it. The reason being, I told you, D will get cancelled out. And the common difference between each of these terms is a D plus D plus D. Correct. Now, the sum of 4 terms is a 24. Again, when we are choosing the terms, we should choose it in such a way that D will get cancelled out. So, the choice of terms will be you can see that when I am adding all this, 3D will cancel, minus D plus D will cancel. But here there is a catch. What's the catch? What is the common difference between successive terms? It is 2D. A minus D minus A minus 3D. It is 2D. Here also 2D, here also 2D. When you are choosing the terms in such a way that you are cancelling out any of the terms, it's fine. Check the common difference, please. It might differ. Here it is a D, here it is a 2D. Suppose I am choosing 5 terms. So what will happen? This will be my AP. A minus 2D, A minus D, A plus D and A plus 2D. Now what is the common difference? It is D. So choose the terms in such a way that your calculations become easier. So even if you do not choose in this way, it is absolutely okay. But you know, the answer will get lengthier. You will get frustrated. You will be scared whether you are going to get the answer. So better avoid all those things and choose the terms in this way. I hope you understand why you are choosing the terms in this way. And when you are doing that, mind your common difference. Fine. Now let us do a few sums based on all these concepts that we have studied so far. No, I think we will avoid the nth term of an AP because we have done too many sums in that. Only the sum of n terms of an AP and maybe this concept also.